we go. First, give me a matrix that represents this system. Let's start there. Everyone should be able to do that at this point in the unit, right? Give me a matrix that represents this system. Don't forget your vertical bar for the equal sign. And just make sure we match there. Okay, just make sure we match before we get to the second part. Ready to go. Because this is going to be the tougher part, and I got to go real slow here to explain it. But once you pick up the pattern and how it goes, you should be fine. Here's what I need now. I need your help to get 1, 0, 0 in the first column using some of the operations that we did before. All right, so again, here's what I need. We already got the 1. That's taken care of, so you're welcome. But I need that 2, and you don't need to write this. I'm just showing you. I need that 2 to become a 0, and I need that -1 to become a 0. The rest of the matrix, I don't care what it looks like. But I need a 1, a 0 here, and a 0 here. Everyone good with the plan before we execute? All right, reminder, you are only allowed to do 3 things for row operations. You can multiply by a number that's not 0. So I know everyone's like, oh, just multiply row 2 by 0. You're good. You can't do that. You can multiply by anything you want, but it's not 0. We could flip-flop rows. And the third thing we could do is multiply a row by a number and add it to another row, correct? Those are the 3 things we are allowed to do. But you are not allowed to multiply a row by 0. You can do any other number you want, but not 0. All right, so how are we going to do this? Ready? Let's start first by making that 2 into a 0. What would I need to add to it to make it into a 0? Everyone agrees I would need to add a -2. All right, well, where can I get that -2? That's why you started with a 1 up top here. I can multiply row 1 by, what did you need down here? Ready? I can multiply, and here's how we're gonna do an arrow showing the next matrix. And on top of that arrow, it's all right if you don't, it's fine. On top of that arrow, you're going to write the rule you're about to do. So again, ready? I'm going to replace row 2. Everyone agrees? Because that's where I need the 0. We'll get to row 3. I'm not going to do both at the same time. We're just going to replace row 2 right now. So I'm going to add the row 2 because you guys know whatever's there is the row I'm replacing. One more time. What do I need to add to 2 to get to the 0? -2. And where do I get the -2? That's why you have a 1 up there. What do I multiply row 1 by? What did you need here? A -2. So I'm going to take -2 and multiply row 1 by it, and then add it to row 2. Do you see where the 0 is going to come into play? I don't care about the rest of the matrix. I know that's what's going through your head. I just want that 2 to become a 0. That's all I want. I don't care what's in the rest of row 2. It doesn't bother me. My goal was to get a 0 there. Questions here? You have to add -2 to this, correct? And where do you get a -2 from? That 1, by multiplying it by -2. Where are we?
What? If you multiply row 1 by -2, 1 times -2 is -2, and then you add it to 2.
Is row 1 changing?
No.
Is row 3 changing?
No.
The only row that should be changing, according to what we did the last 2 class days, is row 2, using this rule. So everyone ready? -2 times 1 gives me -2 plus 2. Yeah. Hey, that's what I wanted there. I don't care what numbers are. These are all going to be different numbers. I don't care. I just wanted a 0 there. Just wanted a 0. Yep.
Could we have done row 3, like 2 times row 3 plus row 2?
You could have done that as well. Yep.
So it doesn't have to be row 1.
No, I always start with row 1 because you're always going to have a 1 there.
Okay.
And you can multiply by anything you want. Okay, that's not always going to be the case depending on what's here. All right, what's the rest of my row look like then? -2 times -2, that gives me a 4. Plus -1 would give me a 3 there. All right, keep going. What do I have here? Negative 2 times negative 1 gives me a 2 plus 1. I also have a 3 here. Everyone's good? Doing what we've done the last couple days. Negative 2 times 2. Negative 4 plus 4. 0. Again, the 3, 3, 0. All right, whatever. I wanted a 0 there. Everyone good now? Everyone all right? All right, now I still need a 0 here. Okay, so that's going to be a new operation with a new matrix at the end here. All right, ready? What's here? A negative 1. What do I need to add to it? I need to add to a 1, right? So we're replacing row 3. That's the first thing. We're going to replace row 3. And you need a positive 1 to add to it. So where do I get a positive 1 from? Row 1. You can say 1 times row 1, but I don't need to multiply it by anything. I know if it confuses you, there you go. 1 times row 1. Because I'm going to get a 0 there. Use that first row to multiply by anything, whatever you need. All right, row 1 staying the same. Row 2 staying the same. Okay, here's my new row 3. Better be a 0 here because that's why we did it. All right, next one. Row 3, column 2, what am I going to get here? Row 1 plus row 3. Negative 1. Negative 3. And negative 2. And that's what I needed. 1, 0, 0. Questions about this one before we get to the next one? And I'm prepping you to what's going to happen here after we're done with the next one. All right, let's try it again. One doesn't make you great. Okay, here we go. Write it as a matrix first. All right, again, you're welcome. I got to change this future years. Again, you're welcome. There's already a 1 up there. We got to talk about if there's not a 1 up there. What do I do to get it to a 1? But we'll get there. All right, ready? I need that 2 to become a 0. Whoa, here you go, right? I'm going to replace row 2. How do I make that into a 0? Add what to it? Negative 2. Again, that's why there's a 1 there. You can multiply that by anything you need. All right, in this case, I need a negative 2 again. So negative 2 times row 1. Again, you're just getting that 2 to be a 0. The rest of the row, we don't care about. Okay, row 1 staying the same. Row 3 staying the same. Here we go, new row 2. 0. What's the next number there? Negative 3. Three. And what's our last number here? It should be a 9. Positive 4 plus 5. All right, ready to finish this? How do I get the negative 1 to be a 0? Add 1 to it. All right, I don't need to multiply. I already have it there. So this is going to be row 1 times 1 plus row 3. Okay, first two rows staying the same. Okay, last row, row 3, I should have a 0 there. A 3. 1. -1. Questions? That's all nice and dandy, but here's what I really need you to start doing here on our next problem. Any questions? All right, so here we go. Buckle up. Okay, humor me here for a second. All right, let's go back old school. Just humor me for a minute. Help me solve this system for x and y. Hasn't been that long. Hasn't been that long. Other than going to solver on the calculator, please.
Solve for x and then substitute it in.
All right, well, okay, how do I get there? That's a great plan.
Multiply the bottom one by -2.
Multiply this bottom one by -2. Everyone all right with that? Or -3 to get the y's. Yep, there we go. All right. Feeling good now?
Just the way you say
Oh, look at that. X's cancel. We should get what? 1y there? Nice. So at least we know y equals that 51. Great job. Y equals 51. Now, how do I get the x? Substitute it back in. The good days here. Plug it into either equation and solve for x.
That took me like 10 seconds.
Little help there, 274. Thank you. All right, good times. Good times. All right. No, Grant, sorry. This is what we use matrices for. We could solve these using matrices. Okay, so how can I use a matrix to get 51 and 274? All right, that's what we're going for today and to finish off this unit. How can I use a matrix to get these answers? All right, first thing, build that matrix for me. Take your two original equations, build that matrix. Two, 3, 701, 1, 1. Okay, let me show you the goal first. I need to show you the goal where I need you to be at the end of this. Okay, I need a matrix at the end that looks like this, and I'll tell you why. All right, I need a matrix that looks like this. Ready? In this order, too, we have to do this. In this order, we need it. I need a 1, 0. Stay with me. In this order, I need it. So I need the 1 here first, a 0 here next. I need a 1 here third, and a 0 right there. That's what I need your help with in that order. Here's why. And then over here, there's going to be 2 numbers left. I don't know what they'll be. I'm just going to place 2 randos in there. 20 and -51. I'm just putting 2 random numbers in there. But that's what I need. I need a 1, a 0 here, a 1 there, and a 0 there. Here's why. Here's why. Ready? If you had your matrix look like this at the end, write that out for me now. That would be what? X equals 20, and what would this be? Now you understand why I need it to look like that. That'll tell me what my X and my Y are at the end. Everything, correct. Yep. Okay, are we ready? I'm not expecting greatness here first. I need a 1 in the top left-hand corner.
You flip them.
I could flip them, right? Everyone, I could flip them. Or anybody think it's something else? Because you're allowed to multiply row 1 by whatever you want. Multiply it by the reciprocal, 1/2. Perfect. We could do either one. Anybody have a preference? I want to make sure we all do it the same because our matrices are going to look totally different if we don't do it all the same. So are we either going to flip them or are we going to multiply by 1/2? Okay, fine, good. I actually like that a little bit better too. So we're going to take row 1 and multiply it by 1/2. So anytime you need that top corner number to be a 1, you multiply the row by the reciprocal. Good? All right, I'm glad we did it that way. All right, let's write our new matrix. Ooh, yeah, I know, huh? 1.5. Could be worse. Yeah, I don't know. What is that? Something 0.5.
What?
Half of 701. What is it? 350.5. And anything happen in the row 2? Nope. All right. So we got the 1 we needed in the top left-hand corner. That is huge. You guys just saw that in the last 2 problems, why that is huge. All right, next. Now I got to get my 0. That 1's got to change into a 0. What do I need to add to it? -1. Where do I get the -1 from? Row 1. That's why I put the 1 there. You can multiply by anything you need. In this case, I need a -1 times row 1. And let's replace row 2 with it. Everyone all right with my rule? Whatever you need to add on to get the 0, you go to row 1 to get. All right, row 1, staying the same. 1, 1.5, 350.5, and here we go, 0. All right, be careful now. I know we have decimals, but you guys have calculators that can help you out. What do you got here? -0.5, I believe. Everyone checking my work here? -1.5 plus 1. That should be -0.5. Yeah. Yeah, we're all right? And then -350.5 plus 325. What's my new number here?
I didn't mean to.
And what do you got over there? 25.5?
Yes, big deal.
What do you got, Kate? Ask him now. That's 25.5. Can't see my decimal. We're all set. Anybody with my new row 2 got issues? All right, here we go. Let's keep grinding. Now I need this to be a 1. So that -0.5 needs to be a 1. Or -1/2. Let me put it that way, right? That's a -1/2. Needs to become a 1. Anytime I need a 1, what do? I multiply the row by the reciprocal. All right, so I need a 1 here. That's -1/2 I have there if you want to write it as a fraction. So what am I multiplying row 2 by?
-2.
Flip it, -2. If you ever need a 1, multiply the entire row by the reciprocal.
Wait, are we just going from that one?
What do you mean? You always go from the previous one.
So,
We keep building, we keep building. Okay, we good? Sure?
wait, why is the reciprocal?
Because this, I need, ready? I need
R2, no, never mind.
I need this one to be
Never
a
mind, I
1,
was
right?
thinking-
Okay, all right. Keep asking questions. Anybody else before we write it? Nobody cares. Keep going. 350.5, that didn't change. Okay, ready for my new row 2. Oh, watch this. 0 times -2. Doesn't affect it. I don't want to affect it. That bad boy better stay. Once it's a 0, it stays a 0. All right, it stays a 0. So that's why I like multiplying by the reciprocal. This goes to a 1. Ooh, how about this last one? Negative 51. Excuse me, let me say that again. Negative.
Negative 50. Positive 51. It's negative 25 and negative 2, bro. Negative times negative.
Oh, never mind. Yes, yeah. Sorry. I'm looking at the rando ones I had up here. That's confusing me.
I'm just waiting for the random wave of guilt.
All right, so let's review. Ready? We got one more step, guys. Ladies, jump. We got one more step. We got the 1. We got the 0. We just got the 1. Now what do we need to do? Ooh, all right. Now let's talk. How do I get that to be a 0? Because you can't multiply by a 0. You ready? Remember? Where's this one? Right here? What do I need to add to it? What do I need to add to it? I need this to be a 0, right? That's my final step. I need to add a negative 1.5. And usually, I'd have you guys go to row 1 to get that, right? But we are in row 1. I'm replacing it. So guess where I'm going to go instead? Row 2 to get it, because there's a 1 there now. Everyone see that? All right, so look, I am going to replace row 1, because that's where the 0 needs to go. But you guys said I needed a negative 1.5, right? So where do you get it? Row 2 now. So negative 1.5 times row 2. I can't go to row 1. I'm already there, right? I'm already there. I can't multiply and add to the same row. And then let the magic happen now. 0, 1, 51. That's not going to change. Oh, look at that. What's going to happen to that 1 there?
Stay 1.
Yeah, it's good, right? Look, 0 plus 1. It's going to stay a 1. Better be. Once these become 0 and 1s, you should not be changing them. Something's going wrong if you do. And then what do I get here? 0, and then ho-ho!
Wait, let me do it in my head. Harper.
You already know the answer. 274. Right? Negative 1.5 times 51
Wouldn't that
plus
be
350.5.
70? Harper.
Oh, suck it up.
75.1. Wait. Oh, wait, Harper. 75.5. 74.5. Wait.
Negative 1.5 times 51 plus 350.
Yeah.
All right. All right, and 1 doesn't make you great. All right, I don't even think 2 do. So suck it up. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Let's see if we can move a little quicker now. Okay, 1's in the top left-hand corner. We're good. All right, we're good. We don't need to fix that. Okay, now you describe to me, what do I need to change next, and what does it need to change into?
A 0.
Where? Which one of these needs to change into a 0?
So negative 1 and a 4.
Okay, the 1's good.
1's good.
Now I got to get the 4 into a 0.
How do we know that?
What?
How do we know
Is
that?
that just on everyone?
Yes, this is on every one, because here's why, Grant. Here's why. Grant, if you choose, let's say you choose to take this and make it a 1, and now you go back, you're going to change this again. If you do it in this order, I guarantee those 1s and 0s will always stay 1s and 0s. All right, you go off on your own path, you're going to make it 800 steps more than it needs to be.
So it's always 1s and 0s.
Yep. Yeah, 1s and 0s. That's all it
Once
is.
it's a 1, it's a 1. Once it's a 0.
Okay, you tell me, how do I get that 4 into a 0?
Oh, we're
What do you want me to replace row 2 with? Row 1 times. Okay, you guys are getting it. Row 4 times negative 4. Row 1 times negative 4 plus row 2. You're picking it up. Remember, row 1 doesn't change. You're going to get your guaranteed 0. Now you got to take your time and make sure you get the next numbers right because that affects the rest of it. Let's see, what's that going to be? 4, -4?
Wait.
No? What did I might have done. That's 4.
I got. I was just thinking because 0 times -4 is 0.
No, but it's -4 times row 1. So it should be -4 times 2 plus 0. Okay, we all good? Before I move on, everyone all right with the new row 2? All right, tell me what's got to change and what's it got to change into.
What?
Not yet. That's the last thing that has to happen.
Wait, there's an order we have to do?
Yes, that's what we were just discussing. There's an order.
Wait, there is.
Oh, that is it.
It's got to go 1. Look, guys, look. You got to have a 1 there first, a 0 there second, a 0 there. I'm sorry, a 1. Yep, a 1 there third, and a 0 there fourth. That's how it goes. Every time. That's the order it's got to go. Again, here's why. Do you have to do it that way? No. But I'm going to tell you your 1s and 0s are going to change, and you have to go back and fix them. It's going to add in extra steps. -4 has to turn into a 1. How do I turn something into a 1? Multiply it. If you want something to turn into a 1, multiply it by its reciprocal. So row 2 is going to get multiplied by, flip it. It already is a -4. Flip it, negative. Yep, and the sign stays the same. You never change the sign. All right, what's your new row 2? Yep.
Would it be feasible if to do -4 row 1 plus row 2?
Hold that thought until I write this, and I'll show you why it is feasible, but why you don't want to do it.
Okay.
All right, so this is going to be 0, 1, and 2. Everyone gets good? Okay, hey, lock in here for a second. Go ahead, Harper. Instead of doing -1/4 R2, Harper had another idea, which is correct, but I want to show you why I don't want you to do it, and this goes back to Grant's point a couple minutes ago. Go ahead, Harper.
Oh.
You want to turn this into a 1 by doing what?
Multiply row 1 by -4 and add.
So you want to multiply this by I think you want to multiply it by
No.
-5.
What? No, because it's.
You want to make this
-4.
into a 1.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, here's why. Watch. You're going to have to do it here. Everyone do it with me. -5 times 1. -5 times 1. Plus 0. Your 0 just went away. Because now it's a -5. See what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, you can do that, but now it's like, gee, now I got to turn that back into a 0.
Yeah.
All right, so why make it more steps?
Yeah.
Okay? Last step. We're almost there.
You multiply by.
Turn the -1 into a
0.
0. Yes. All right, so we're replacing row 1. It's a -1, and I need it into a 0. What do you need? Oh, no. What do you need to add to it?
1.
A 1. And now, since I'm already in row 1, I'm going to get it from row 2, whatever I need now. So all it's going to be is row 2 plus row 1, or 1 times row 2, if you want to put that in. So row 2 is not changing. Oh, look at that. The 1 stays a 1. That stays a 0. And what's my finisher here for this last number? So guess what? X equals. And we got to rate your matrix alone isn't good enough for me. You got to remember you're solving for X and Y here.
How did she get
X,
Yeah, how did you get 4?
I combine row 1 and row 2. Row 2 and row 1, so 2 plus 2.
Oh.
Right? Row 2 plus row 1. That's it. Okay?
You should take an IQ test. I'm kidding.
And hey, I don't care if you check using your calculator. I don't care. But if you just go here and it looks like hot garbage here, and all of a sudden you get the correct answer, I'm going to know. Not that any of you would do hot garbage. Why?
Is it? Could we try practicing this on our own?
That's my plan.
Oh, okay.
After I go through here. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm going to let you go on your own here in a second. But hey, work smarter, not harder. Well, what do I mean by that? I wouldn't write it just as is. Think about it. What do you have to have in the top left to begin?
Oh, you flip it.
Why even start with 3, 4, 5? Why? Right? You're going to end up flipping it or multiplying it by the. So you might as well just do it now. You know, you don't. What I'm saying, Paige, is you don't even need to show me that. Just flip it right now. Right? Go 1, 2, 1 right now. You can do that. Instead of showing me that, just start it off like that. All right. Now you got to make that 3 into a 0, and you're off on your own. Here we go. Take your time. Try to work as quietly as possible here so people can think. 1, 0, 0, 1. 1, 0, 1, 0. Sorry. I'll put it up here. 1, 0, 1, 0. That's what it needs to be.
Wait, what's the order again? 1, 0, 1, 0.
Yep. And again, if you don't have to follow that order, but your 0 and 1s are going to be changing, and you got to go back and change them back. We could be doing 3 of these with X, Y, and Z. That's what we used to do back in the day, but this is where I draw the line, 2 by 2. All right, that's where I draw the line. So, all right, we'll see. We'll see what you got tomorrow on your own.
Is it about tonight tomorrow? Or?
Nope.